This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, host of The Ken Coleman Show on the Ramsey Network, joined by George Campbell, soon to be a best-selling author.
Wow.
He's here in the early stages.
Are you manifesting this, Ken?
I am manifesting.
I'm here for it.
He is a Ramsey personality and host of the wildly popular podcast, Barred Future, and that's the documentary, The Fine Print. Sorry, but you did the Barred Future podcast,
the precursor.
So you have two podcasts, and then on top of everything else, you are the host of the Entree Leadership Podcast, one of the great leadership podcasts in the country. So George is keeping himself busy. We are together today. You heard us open. We're going to talk about your personal life because it is, without a doubt, intertwined with your financial life and your professional life. So George and I are here together to take your calls. Here's how you do it. It's a toll-free number, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Let's go. Sarah is up first in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sarah, how can we help?
Hi, yes. I have a question about refinancing student loans. Mm-hmm. I was curious to know if getting a lower monthly payment or less time or less interest would be the best situation for refinancing student loans.
Okay, well, it's an option. Let's talk through the numbers here. How much student loans do you have, and what's the current interest rate?
I have $116,000 in a private student loan, and the interest rate right now is 4.3.
Okay. Have you looked into refinancing to see what your options would be and what the new interest rate would be?
Yes, my options would be 2%. 2%.
Okay, so it would go down to 2%. All right. And would it extend the length of your payments?
It would. So right now, I'm looking at 2040 for this current. So it would be 2045.
Yikes. Who'd you reach out to?
I reached out to a company called Gradfin, and they just looked through the market for me. Okay.
I would try reaching out to our friends at Splash Financial, because here's what I want you to do. I want you to not have to pay to make this refinance happen, and I'd like you to obviously lower the interest rate, but I don't want to extend the repayment period. Because this is how they do it. They go, well, we'll give you a lower interest rate, but you're going to pay those student loans for 5 extra years, and the interest is going to accrue. And so I love that it's a lower interest rate. You're cutting that in half, which is going to help as you attack these student loans. You're going to feel the progress of that. But I do think we want to do some more homework here and make sure that we get the best bang for our buck with this refinance situation. But yes, at this point, I would do it if it costs you nothing, and if you can get a shorter repayment term, lower interest rate. All of those are good things. So reach out to Splash Financial, see what they say, and then pursue it. But remember, refinancing, you're just moving the debt around. So we want to attack the student loan debt, attack the behavior, but the refinancing can help as part of the process. Thanks for the call.
George, let's talk just for a moment here, because this is a call we get on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There's a trap here, and you really specialize in helping people kind of avoid some traps.
Yes.
Because there's an emotional appeal that she has been, somebody has shared that with her. What's the emotional trap that we got to be careful of? Because as you're saying, if you're not careful, you're going to pay to just move from one pile to another pile.
Exactly. The emotional trap is you feel like you did something. When you do some, debt consolidation is a great example of this, right? You take all these debts and you put them in one big pile, and you feel like, wow, all right, we made some progress there. When in reality, you just move the pile around, and you still have a pile. And I'm not going to say what pile it is, but when it's dead, we know what it is.
Ooh.
And so I want to attack this. I want to attack the behavior, but I do think there is value on certain occasions, and we outline a lot of this. We want you to get a lower interest rate. We don't want the repayment period to be extended. And we want you to, with a student loan refinance, you can often do it with no charge. Versus a home refinance, there's closing costs. You got to look at, the analysis of when you're going to ROI on that. So I don't think they're always bad, but I do think it's not the shortcut that you think it is.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from you, George, because this is you. This describes you. Fastidious.
Ooh.
Thank you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Diving in there. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
The devil is in the details.
That's the word of the day on the Ramsey Show.
Word of the day, fastidious.
We're going to have the graphics team will come up with something.
We give you a little extra. We give you practical advice and then a word to impress your friends.
Ken, you always impress me.
Well, thank you, George.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's go to Linda next in Akron, Ohio. Linda, how can we help?
Yes. My question is what to do with the $20,000 that I presently have with my husband in a checking account. He has cancer. He's 80 years old. We've been married 45 years. I am 66. I don't know what to do with the money, and we have extra funds at this point every month because we only own our home.
Hey, Linda.
Which our son owns it with us.
Linda, yeah. Can you adjust your phone a little bit? We want to try to be able to hear you a little bit better. Let's try something.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank you. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
So you've got $20K in the bank, and your husband has cancer. I hate to hear that. I'm so sorry.
And I don't know what to do with it because he's not an investor. I used to help people with investing years ago. Didn't do well that way. But anyway, I don't know what to do with money at this point other than to leave it in the checking account, and my son has encouraged me to not do that. But I don't know what to do with it. Well, and I don't know where to add to it, as every month we have extra at this point because we only own the home.
So you said you own your home outright?
No, we still owe on it.
You owe on the home. Okay, so do you have any other debt other than your mortgage?
No.
Okay, and do you have an emergency fund in place, or is that $20,000, that's everything that you have?
No, we do have some emergency funds in place.
Do you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses?
I would say 3.
Okay. So we've got 3 months of expenses, and other than that, you've got 20 grand sitting in a checking account, and you're going, I feel like there's something better we could be doing with this.
Yes, because the bank's already called and said because of fraud, they didn't feel we should leave it in their suggested savings.
Okay. Well, what's your retirement look like? How much have you guys have saved for retirement?
We have nothing else.
No retirement whatsoever?
No, it's been exhausted over the years that
You've used it in your retirement age, and with his health and everything, I'm guessing that just got wiped out?
Yes, and I can't work either.
Well, it sounds like we need to save this money because you don't have much to live off of if something goes wrong. How do you guys have income still?
Yes, he has a pension, and we both have Social Security.
What does that all add up to?
I'm thinking it's around $3,800 a month.
Okay.
Maybe a little more than that.
Well, I want you to...
It's like around $53,000 for the year for both of us.
$53,000. Okay, so you're able to live. I would recommend putting this in a high-yield savings account for right now and let it grow just a little bit, but connect with a SmartVestor Pro. You got to start investing. This money can grow. If you live another 20 years, you could have a whole bunch of money if you invest wisely at this point. But we're rooting for you, Linda. Sorry to hear about your husband.
Hang on the line, Linda. What we're going to do is we're going to have Kelly connect you to one of our SmartVestor Pros and one of our financial coaches, free for us. Sorry, not the SmartVestor Pro, but a financial coach, and have them coach you up on what you need to do here. They can help you. This is The Ramsey Show.
Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career.
Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel. We're here for you this hour. It's a free phone call, 888-825-5225. Over the last 30 years, Ramsey Solutions has walked with tens of thousands of people and their families to help them overcome financial stress. We found that money stress is just one of all kinds of ways we experience stress. People struggle with stress, anxiety, and loneliness all at the same time. We all have some sort of crazy in our family. We've all had lies told to us by well-meaning people or by not so well-meaning people, and the list of hurts just piles up. Unfortunately, you can't change your past, but you can change your future, and here's some good news. Our colleague, Dr. John Deloney, has a new book called Own Your Past, Change Your Future, where he's going to walk you through a not-so-complicated approach to relationships, mental health, and wellness through his personal experiences and his research and education. Dr. Deloney shows all of us how to transform hurt into healing and move from hopelessness to hopefulness. And Dr. Deloney's book is available for pre-order today. It's called Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It's going to show you how to deal with all different types of trauma and how to get connected to a community and so much more. Here's why you need to pre-order today. You're going to get free bonus items, including a 1 month of free one-on-one therapy with BetterHelp. So pre-order your copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future for only $20 at RamseySolutions.com today. All right, let's go to Shade. And Shade is joining us in Wisconsin. Shade, how can we help?
Hi. So I am trying to dispute some debt. I've called the collections agency and we negotiated a price. But I'm wondering how I've heard that we can do this, but I was wondering if I should get it, how I would get it in writing before paying, or do I have to pay before they would take it off the credit report?
I mean, I would get it in writing first, because what you don't want to happen is you pay it and they go, well, that's not all of it. And you go, wait, you told me over the phone, and there's no records of it. So get it either by snail mail, physical mail, or recorded in an email, and then you can pay that debt. What was the settled amount?
Like $2,200.
And what was the original that you owed?
$27.
Okay, so they knocked off $500 if you pay it in full, kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, 2 tips here. Do not give them access to your checking account.
Yep.
And don't send them a personal check. So if you do that and they've agreed on it, I mean, make sure you get it in writing first before you pay. What did they say? Just over the phone they said this?
Yes. They also I said that I wanted it in writing, but they said they don't do that. Like they just don't do it. That I would have to pay first, and then they could send it.
I don't like the sound of this. I mean, can they not even send you an email verifying this?
I didn't ask that. I can certainly call them back and be like, hey, I've listened to you guys, and I've heard you say I talked to my financial advisor and stuff.
Well, you tell them, hey, I'd love to give you money, but I'm not going to do it until you send me an email verifying the amount. I'm happy to give you the money. Here's the thing. They want the money. And so at some point, they're going to budge and go, all right, here it is in writing.
Okay.
Yeah,
good work, man.
Hold firm on that. When they say things like, oh, we don't do that, you go, well, great. I don't do what you want me to do.
Yeah, make sure you stand up for yourself.
Makes 2 of us.
Advocate for yourself. Don't let them bully you around. And it sounds like you've done the hard work already just by negotiating it, which is great. So
good for you.
Good work.
Appreciate the call. All right, up next is Eric in Columbia, South Carolina. Eric, how can we help?
Hey, guys. How are you?
We are having a blast. What are you doing?
I got a question about, I'm trying to get out of debt. I started listening to you guys and Dave about a month ago, and my grandfather and my father are very big fans of you guys. So I'm trying to follow, what they say, and also listen to what you and guys talk on the podcast. So I paid my credit card off, and then I'm trying to get out of a car loan. And I know the used car market is obviously hot right now, but every time I go to a different dealership, the value of the car seems to go backwards instead of forward. So my question is, how do I get out of a car loan that I'm in negative?
So you're upside down on this thing. What's the loan amount?
$48,000.
Whoa. What kind of car is this? It's a truck?
It's a Audi Q7.
Wow.
What year?
2018.
2018 Audi.
How many miles?
I think 55,000.
And what did they say they'd give you for it at the dealership?
So we went to one a little like 3 weeks ago, and it was at 40,000 was the trade-in offer that they gave. Then we went back yesterday, and now it's down to 38.
Well, why are we doing trade-in?
My wife went to another one.
What about if it wasn't a
trade-in?
trade-in?
I don't have the funds to pay the difference.
Okay, but I'm saying, what if you didn't do a trade-in? What if you just sold it privately, let's say? How much could you get for it?
Probably 45 or so.
Because they're always going to give you less for the trade-in amount. And so I'm going to do a lot more research. Have you checked Carvana and Vroom and some of these online companies?
No, the only one I've tried that's, I guess, reasonable is CarMax.
He doesn't have to, George, because I've done it right here while you two were talking. Okay, I pulled up just a little search. Edmunds is one source. There's many sources.
Big fan.
In the Columbia, South Carolina area. And you've got a range here. You said you think you've got 55,000. You're not 100% sure. But we've got one Q7 here that's got 61,000 miles on it, 38,990. You've got another one at, let's see. Whoa, one at 53. It's got 42,000 miles on it, so they're asking 53.4 for this. So just doing a quick survey. Here's another one. 45,000 miles, 44.9. So I know that's a little bit less mileage than what you've got here, but I think George is right. Private market is what I'd be looking at.
Yeah. How much money do you have, Eric? Just savings, checking?
About $6,000 of everything.
Okay, so you got $6,000.
So I just paid off $6,000 in credit card debt.
Awesome. So you paid off $6,000 and you have $6,000 in the bank?
Correct.
Awesome. Well, that's a great place to be because you're going to owe the difference if you went and sold it in order to get out of the loan.
Correct.
And so the fact that you have some money is great. So what I'm doing, I'm going to get top dollar for that Audi. And then with whatever money you need to pay the difference, you pay the difference and call it a stupid tax and you move on with your life. And then you obviously need a car. So my hope is that,
correct,
let's say you owe maybe $3,000 difference to pay off the loan. Well, you still have $3,000 left. So I'm going to sock away $1,000 for the emergency fund, and I'm going to get the junkiest car that is the opposite of the car you're driving right now. And you're going to drive that until you can save up enough money to upgrade to a $4,000 car. And you're going to sell that one and do the same thing. And eventually you're going to trade up to where you have a decent car. And then one day you're going to have an amazing car. But right now we've got to focus on getting out of this pile of debt and get you a fully funded emergency fund and get you investing so that you have some control on the future.
Eric, you can do this, can't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, how's that going to feel to get that off your shoulders, all that debt? Even though it's not going to be fun, how's it going to feel?
It's going to feel like everything's off my shoulders.
Come on, man.
What's your income, Eric?
72,000.
Oh,
there we go. So we can save
fine.
up some money. And you said that's your only debt left is the car?
I just purchased a house, so that's on there too.
So you got the mortgage, but other than that, your consumer debt.
Mortgage. Other than the mortgage, that's it.
Awesome.
All right, man. You're going to be in good shape once we get rid of this car, but do your research. I'm checking everywhere. I'm going private sale on Facebook and Craigslist and Auto Trader, checking Vroom and Carvana, seeing who's going to pay me the most money.
And now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
We are seeing reports of car manufacturers getting angry at dealers. This was a major headline over last weekend because car dealers are selling cars $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 above MSRP.
Oh,
yeah. And that's one negative of this kind of bloated, kind of inflation-driven market on the auto industry. But we're also seeing high value for used cars. Now's the time to do this. If you're upside down, now's the time to move on this.
If you're following the Ramsey plan, it's a great time to get out of your car debt.
It really is. Hey, thank you so much for the call, Eric. All right, don't go anywhere. You got a question about your income, your bigger shovel? Hey, I'm here for you today, and George is going to answer your money questions. Appreciate you being with us. Don't move. Coming up, more of The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Kit Coleman, joined by my colleague George Camel. We are here for you this hour, 888-825-5225. And joining us in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions is Kimberly. Kimberly, you're on the debt-free stage.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, thanks.
So I guess you're here to do a debt-free screen?
I am.
All right. Where are you coming in from?
We're about an hour north of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. Give us the details. How much did you pay off?
$103,230.67.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. How long did that take?
34 months.
34 months. Okay. And what was your range of income?
Started at 65 and ended at 73.
Okay. Great. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a project manager.
Oh, nice. What industry?
I was in the automotive aftermarket for almost 7 years, and I just transitioned over to energy.
Awesome.
I work for a company that makes batteries.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yep.
Well, fantastic. Okay. So give us a rundown. What was the $103,000 worth of debt?
I had about $15,600 in a car, $1,200 on a cell phone, $6,600 on a credit card, $1,700 to my school, $2,300 on a personal loan, $50,400 in student loans, and $25,000 in my mortgage.
Yeah, so all pretty normal. Wait a second. Wait a second, George. She just dropped mortgage.
The M word.
The M word. You paid off your house?
I did.
Yay! There she is. So all the debt was normal, but now you're super weird because you don't have a house payment.
I'm super weird.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
it's hard to believe it myself.
How did you had this whole mess and you went, you know what? On top of that, we're going to get rid of the mortgage too while we're at it.
Yep.
Yeah. Lump it all in, baby. You were
Altogether.
seriously intense.
Yeah. So technically, I guess this is really my second debt-free screen because I paid off all my consumer debt around July of 2020. And then, I'm sorry, was it 20? I think it was 2020. I'm confused with all the pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
And then I bought my house about a month and a half afterwards.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Wow.
So you just are all in, going for it. That is so amazing. What's the house worth?
It's a mobile home.
Okay.
So probably what I paid for it.
Yeah,
I put
sure.
a little renovations into it, but it's really expensive where I live. So I had moved back home with my parents for about 10 months. Then the pandemic hit, and it was nice living with them, but it was too crowded. And I was looking at going and renting an apartment again. And I'd be lucky if I could find something for $1,500 to $1,700 for a
Sure.
2-bedroom apartment. So an opportunity came up for me to buy a mobile home, and I paid less than $25,000 for it. So
and now you don't owe a nickel on it.
now I don't owe a nickel on it.
So great. All right, now tell us what happened 34 months ago when you just said, all right, I'm done with debt.
Yeah. So I was very normal. I thought I had everything under control. I was, making ends meet and paying all my bills. And my girlfriend suggested at church that we go to Financial Peace. And I was like, I don't want to pay for that. I'm like, it's $100, go out to eat or whatever. And she's like, just do it. So I did, and I went, and it was just eye-opening for me. I really didn't think that it was possible. I figured I was going to have my student loans until I was dead. And I really just hunkered down and got to it. And, everybody made fun of me. They still do sometimes. They think it's crazy I don't have credit cards.
Really? Give me an insult if you can handle re-saying it. What would they say to you?
I don't know if it was necessarily an insult, but I know a friend of mine wanted me to go out for her birthday, and another friend, a different friend, she's also on her debt-free journey, and they wanted to go to this really expensive, fancy restaurant, and my other friend who was on my debt-free journey with us, we said, okay, we'll go. But her and I ate frozen pizzas at home and then went to the birthday party dinner, and we ordered like a really small appetizer and shared it, and then like had like 1 or 2 drinks, and we were like, all right, we're out.
Yeah.
So, just saying no is really hard, especially with my kids. They're like, oh, the Dave Ramsey budget,
Right.
So it was really tough, but 3 years, it was worth the sacrifice. And I think you guys have some pictures. Like we went to Disney in October, and I paid for that 100% in cash.
Look at that.
So,
oh, how about that?
Yeah, there it is.
Isn't that the best? Mm-hmm. A debt-free picture in front of the castle.
Yeah.
Look at that happy mama
no
right there.
No debt came home with you, just memories.
No debt.
That's the way to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then when we were in financial peace, I remember we had the plastectomy session, and I had gotten divorced in 2015, and so I was a single mom, and I was really concerned about, what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. So pretty much anyone that gave me a credit card, I was taking it because I was just afraid of the unknown. So, the bank was like, hey, 10,000 credit card, or, here's another one for 8. At one point, I think I had like $90,000 in open credit.
Whoa.
Not that it was used. It wasn't, I didn't rack them up, but that was my security net and my safety. And so when we had the plastectomy, I cut up 14 credit cards.
Wow.
Which I had the most in my class. I thought that was like normal. Apparently I was actually a little worse.
Or they just like, how many more do you have, lady? This is going to take all night.
Yeah. So actually I brought a picture of that as well. So they sit on they sit on my desk at home.
Love that.
It's just a reminder to never use them again.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
What was the hardest one to cut up? Was there one that was like sentimental to you?
No.
There usually is one that you're like, ugh.
I didn't really have one that was sentimental. It was just more of like, as soon as all the ones that already had 0 balances, those were super easy for me to cut off. It was just like getting I just had the stack, and every time I'd pay one off, I'd, cut that one up, add it to the pile. So the one that's sitting on top, that's the last one. That was kind of my main one that I used. It was just a pretty generic one, but, cash back points. So
that's right.
It's like I need that $25 on the applied to the bill.
So what do you say to people that are watching, listening today, and they're going, okay, I get it, but I don't know if I can do it? What's the key to crossing this finish line?
Well, everybody always says the budget. So, obviously that's number one, but being able to sacrifice and saying no is't the hardest one. And if you can do that and realize that it's short term, really anything is possible. I was actually telling Kat here that I was on the way here last night, and there was a lady in the seat behind me on the airplane, and she said, she's just complaining, I don't know how I'm going to pay off my student loans. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. I want to buy a house, all this stuff. And I turned around, I said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but have you heard of Dave Ramsey? So, listening to everybody's debt-free screams was just really inspiring to me, and I listen to you guys every day. So I have a nice long commute to work, so I listen in the car, and I listened it on 1.5 speed. So you guys seem like you're talking really slow right now, but
okay, we can speed it up. We'll talk really fast.
No, don't do that.
So who are the guys you got with you? You got your boys with you today?
I do.
Who's over there?
Yep. So I have my 2 sons. So this is my oldest son, Alexander. He's 12, and this little guy here is Dexter, and he's 10.
Oh my goodness! And have they been practicing their scream?
They don't want to scream.
Oh, I get it. They're very cool. Look at them.
Yeah,
they're
I was
too
going to
cool.
say, they're
George,
way cooler than me.
very cool. I get that.
Can you imagine being that cool at their age, Ken?
No, I was never that cool.
No.
They're camera shy.
Yeah, I get
love
it.
it.
Camera shy.
And so they've been following this journey with you, Mom, and they get it. They get how big of a deal this is.
Yes, they will ask sometimes when we're at the store, is it in the budget? Can we get
Good.
that? So
Good.
Yeah, that's the right mentality. They're going to be okay, and you've changed your family tree, and I'm sure you've inspired a lot of other single moms out there who feel this weight of, I've got to do all this on my own, and all this money stuff, and I've got all this debt. How am I going to get through the next week, the next month? And you are living proof that it can be done.
Yes.
It can be done. Just sacrifice, the big word.
You are a hero. To do this as a single mom, it's hard enough to do it with support. To do it that way, you are such a hero to us, to our audience, to those 2 handsome young men there. All right, we've got 2 things we want to give you because you have earned these gifts. One is a copy of Dave's Total Money Makeover for you to give to somebody else, like that lady maybe on the plane. Maybe you'll come in contact with a lady on the plane going back. And then, of course, you're on your way to being a Baby Steps Millionaire. So Dave's latest book, #1 bestseller, Baby Steps Millionaires, we're going to give that to you as well. So, all right, you guys ready to do this? They're sort of kind of ready. They're cool, but Mama is awesome. Here we go. Kimberly paid off $103,000 in 34 months, making $65,000 to $73,000. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
There it is. The boys are happy. They just don't want to show it. And I get it. I totally get it.
They were completely unfazed.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, they don't even know it, or maybe they do, but the legacy's changed forever.
Yeah.
That mom left for them.
House and everything.
Boom.
Unbelievable. She is a hero. That is so great. Hey, she did it. You can do it as well. Don't move. More of The Ramsey Show coming right up. Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show, where we help you win relationally, professionally, financially. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my co-host and colleague, George Camel. And folks, George, I'm very excited to share this. There was a help wanted sign, if you will, that went viral several days ago.
Okay.
And I shared this on the Ken Coleman Show, and there's so much goodness in this, and so we wanted to share it here today. Panda Express. Have you ever been to Panda Express?
Oh, yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't eat much there nowadays that I'm gluten-free, but it was delicious back when I could. Great fast food,
right.
Asian food.
Yeah, it's good food. Okay, so Panda Express, for our viewing audience, we're going to throw this sign up on the screen here. For our listening audience, I'm going to read to you off of the sign. Do we have that, guys? If we don't have it, okay. We'll get it up in a second. Okay, so basically, this is a particular sign. I'm assuming this is across the country, but the place this happened was at a Panda Express in Utah. Okay, and so in the store they had a sign, and the sign was titled "Inspiring Better Lives." And the job ad called for general managers, assistant managers, service, and kitchen team members. Okay, for the general manager role, the sign listed that the total potential annual compensation or earnings at this restaurant would be $69,000 a year plus a bonus. All right. And then the other post advertised a going rate between $15 to $20 an hour for the other positions. For the assistant manager salary role, it also included bonuses. And then the ad included, we will offer other benefits, including medical, dental insurance, paid sick leave, paid vacation, and George, a 401k company match.
Wow.
Now, that is a really, really nice bundle. Now, the thing went viral because a local college professor, I'm not going to use his name because this dude got lit up. He got lit up on social media because this is what he tweeted. He tweeted a picture of the sign that we were just talking about, George. And he said, my salary as an associate professor of mathematics at Westminster College, 3 blocks away from this sign, is $61,500. Okay. And so people just started coming after him. So then he does a follow-up message, which, George, is never a good idea.
No, you don't want to reply that.
Once the hounds start attacking on social media, it's probably best to just go quiet. He follows up and says, I promise that this tweet is not elitist. But anyway, I'm muting because my mentions are now unusable. Go hug a local educator. Then he goes on to say, the point of the tweet is that professors make way less than you think they do. That's all. Well, he just got it. There's the sign, by the way. Oh, there's the guy. I'm not using his name, but he got lit up, George.
Yeah.
And largely had a little bit of support, but largely people were like, hey, dude, what's your problem? You're the one that chose to be a professor. This is Panda Express. Now, a couple things. I don't think the professor understands the free market, the economy. So Panda Express and their executives, they get to decide, and they will decide based on profits, what they believe they can pay to bring in leadership. But here's one thing I want to say. I want you to get you to weigh in. But here's one thing I wanted to say. What I applaud Panda Express for is that they showed a ladder for people. They didn't just post a job. They said inspiring better lives. Now, let me tell you something, people. You want to be working for a place that is thinking that they're not just giving you a paycheck, but they're going to help you in your life. Medical insurance, dental insurance, paid sick leave and vacation time, 401k. That, to go work at Panda Express, maybe some people look down at that, but the reality is you can lead as a general manager, as a system manager, do very well there.
Yeah, there are so many layers in this tiramisu, Ken. There's a lot going on here because on one hand, this guy is angry at higher education. That's really what it is. He's saying, I'm a professor. He has a PhD. Yeah. He's thinking, well, I should be making a lot more than a manager at a fast food joint. But then that points to a different issue, the way in which we see work and how we see different industries. And we go, well, the fast food business, that's beneath me.
See, that's the issue.
And so that's another layer to this, too, is he's going, well, I'm more important than a guy who's working in the fast food. And so what I want is for people to stop poo-pooing any work because all work has honor and it has dignity and it brings value to people. And so I think that's a huge reason why we're not seeing more people go into trades because there's a stigma around a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't go to college, you don't get a PhD, you're not going to have a great life.
No.
And here we are, a guy who can be manager at Panda Express with no degree is making more than a guy with the PhD down the road.
All the education. Yeah.
So there's so many pieces to this. It's hard to just pinpoint one thing that's wrong with this picture.
Yeah, well, I love the story because I think it highlights the fact that there is, as you said, there is this status that is attached to certain jobs. And the reality is that you can go in the trades and make a whole lot more than that professor and eventually start your own company in that trade and then hire other people. And you are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner. And I think we got to get to the point where parents, we're starting to see this play out on social media, and you got to go, you know what? If someone loves leading people, they've always loved leading and coaching, you can go into Panda Express and coach a whole team and do very, very well and may work yourself up the ladder. You and I both know of Kat Cole, an executive who started out as a waitress and became an executive of a conglomerate of restaurants. It is possible still in America to climb the ladder.
Absolutely. And you do this work every day helping people understand the value and the meaning that they have in their work and that you can make money doing it regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they either go to a certain job because of the money and then they're miserable and they're calling your show, or they find something they love, but then they don't know how to make money doing it, and we can help them navigate that too. But what I'm sick of seeing is all these people going, well, if you're not in this industry, I'm above that because I have this fancy degree. And so there's a lot of angst going on here in the professional space.
Yeah.
Across all generations.
Yeah.
Everyone's upset about something.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to do is go, hey, let's clear all of this. If you're doing something that you love to do, it's respectable, the marketplace values this, and they give you money to do it.
Yeah.
There's such honor in that I think we need to get back to as a society.
Yeah.
My garbage man and the waste disposal people, they're very much valued in my life.
Yes.
And the mechanics and the plumbers and all the people in my community who do such good work every single day, they're not beneath me. I'm not above them just because of the field I'm in or the degrees that I have or don't have. And so I think we need to get back to that where we can all just respect each other and the fact that we show up every day and do work that matters.
Yeah. And it's really true that if you love leading people, and let's say you got laid off during the pandemic, okay, and you've got a bunch of management experience, but you're having a hard time breaking in, Panda Express would hire you that fast. But are you willing to swallow whatever pride may be associated with it and go, wait a second, I can come in as a general manager, start just below $70,000, and the reality is you have a chance to move up.
Yeah.
And, listen, for those of you that are engaged in this show because of the financial stress in your life, again, Dave has said for years and years and years, your number one wealth building tool is your
income.
And right now is one of the hottest job markets we've ever had. I'm here to help you over the next couple hours. We'll help you today, right now. But one thing I want to offer to people, George, a lot of people need permission to leave. Permission to, should I quit my job? And they kind of feel like they should, and they're feeling like, could I go backwards financially? The answer is no, not if you land a better paying job. The baby steps don't stop for 1 second. So I want to bring up a free resource we have at kencoleman.com, Ramsey Solutions, the big website, kencoleman.com. Search, should I quit my job? Quiz. It's free. Takes about 3 minutes. Should I Quit My Job quiz. If you're looking for that nudge to go, should I do it? This is a short little quiz. 3 minutes, 20 questions. It's going to give you a report on where you land. And then we've got a free webinar based on your result that'll help you make this decision with confidence.
And it can help dispel those fears and the unknowns of, well, what if I do and what happens? And people just need that clarity to step into that next thing.
Remember, we don't want you to quit and interrupt your income. We only want you to quit to a better gig that has the money and the meaning you're looking for to help you get through those baby steps faster. The more income I bring in, the quicker I get that budget under control. That influx of income allows me to move faster through the baby steps. So check it out. Should I Quit My Job quiz, KenColeman.com, or you can go to RamseySolutions.com and just type in Should I Quit My Job quiz. Hey, George.
Good stuff.
That hour flew by.
I'm getting hungry now.
Are you hungry?
After all that Panda Express talk.
There it is. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I want to thank our team in the booth back there. They do an incredible job. Appreciate you all so very much. I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us. It is all about you. It is your show. It is The Ramsey Show.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Campbell. We are Ramsey Personalities, and we are your host this hour. 888-825-5225 is the phone number to jump in. It's toll free. 888-825-5225. And George, I know we hear from James, our erstwhile and just iconic producer all the time. We have new people listening to the show all the time. And if you're brand new, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've got a question, you're going, I don't know, it's a live show and all these things. We're here for you. We're going to take good care of you. We're not here to use you as a prop to make a point. We're here to actually dive in and guide you. And so we're just so thankful. Welcome to all the new listeners that are coming in. George, I'm seeing new data every day. 61% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. Credit card is rising. The debt is rising. It is exploding, and so we're here positioned to help folks.
I just saw we added $1 trillion in consumer debt.
We did
casually.
We did, and 61% of Americans paycheck to paycheck. So we can help you with that. We want to help you. I'm here specifically to help you on the job side of things. If you feel like you're in a toxic environment or you've got some choices to make, and we can weigh in together on that, we'll do that. Remember this, you can't separate your professional life and your personal life. They're just inextricably tied together. Your finances, same thing. And so if we can help you make a move right now to make more money, to get promoted, we want to do that. So everybody's welcome. Let's go. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Joshua, who is going to start us off this hour in Fort Worth, Texas. Joshua, how can we help?
Hey, Ken. Hey, George. How you doing?
We are having a blast. What are you doing?
Working hard, trying to get out of debt.
There we go. How can we help?
So my wife and I started about 11 months ago. We started with just under $100,000 in debt. We're down to about 35 now.
Good for you.
And I'm trying to get a bigger shovel, a second job to help speed up the process. Last year, I did 6 months of Instacart and only made about $6,000 extra to throw on the debt. So this year, I'm just trying. I want to find something a little better, income-wise.
Yeah.
But with my situation, I can only do remote work right now. I have a 2-year-old son, and I'm his primary caregiver during the day.
Okay. So remote.
I work third shift.
Okay. Now, can you tell me what the schedule is as to when you are not his primary caregiver? Is that several nights a week? What's the schedule that you have when you're not his primary caregiver?
So I work third shift 7 days a week because overtime is amazing.
Yeah.
At a aircraft plant, and so I work midnight to 6:30 a.m. every day.
How much sleep are you getting before you have to help him?
Probably about 4 to 5 hours a day.
And then you're watching him from what time to what time?
7 a.m. to 4 when my wife gets home.
All right, that's all I needed to know. So we really are limited to any kind of remote work during that time where you're watching your son. Okay. How much research have you done about remote jobs, so some of the best jobs that you can get working from home?
I've looked into data entry, telephone operations through DirecTV, stuff like that. I've used search engines like Indeed, Monster, USA Job, and I keep applying for them, but I'm not hearing back from them.
Okay, good. All right, so we got it. So this is a different problem than I thought. The good news is you've identified these jobs that you can do and bring in the money that you want to bring in. The issue is you're not getting interviews.
Correct.
Okay, great. All right. So a couple of things. You have to stand out from the pile. Can you imagine how many people are submitting resumes for all those remote jobs?
Absolutely.
It's a lot. And here's what we know about companies. We saw some data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they said that over 1 million qualified candidates, George, didn't even get looked at in 2021 because these companies are using AI, artificial intelligence, and it's a software designed to, funnel, if you will, field all of these resume submissions. And so what's happening is many times you're not even being seen. Your resume is not even being seen. It's almost as if you're this nameless, faceless person. That's probably what's happening to you if you're not getting any interview at all. Sometimes it is a simple strategy like making sure that the job you're applying for has a job description, and do you have keywords in that job description? So think of the most descriptive, specific words that the company is using in the job description. You need to make sure those words are in your resume. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now that's one simple technique to try. The second thing is I want you, I want you to download at kencoleman.com. I want you to download my free resume guide. Okay, it's absolutely free. It's a PDF. It's going to walk you through step by step how to make your resume stand out, and it gives you a free template as well. Okay, I've
actually already done that.
Great. So you need to. So now that we're using that, the next step is what really gets us gigs are connections, people. So even though this is a remote job, your goal is to make some connections through your acquaintances, social media connections, and friends, maybe friends and family, but you largely know all the same people they do, right? So what we want to do is we want to get somebody submitting your resume for you directly to that person. So for instance, if you were to go on LinkedIn and you found, okay, I know this person through this person, we have a mutual connection. What you would do is instead of reaching out directly to the hiring manager or that person at that company, you reach out to your connection, not on LinkedIn, in real life, text, email, phone call, and you ask them, will they do a real life connection for you to that person? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now listen, there's nothing mind-blowing I just gave you there. But the reality is that's the old school human-to-human connection, and that's how you still win. Because if you just keep playing the automated resume submission game, it's essentially, George, like playing the lottery.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of time to look up apply for all these positions, whether it's customer service rep online, virtual assisting, user experience testing, online tutoring. There's a lot of options out there, but it may not be as simple as I'm just going to apply and hope that I make it through.
And then Joshua, one other thing that I want to recommend to you, you're in Fort Worth, Texas area. That's a big metropolitan area. instead of just applying online and making those connections, you need to go directly into some of these companies and just kind of get a lay of the land, you know what I mean? And see who do you know and play that personal connection game. Because if they're just looking for somebody they can rely on and you tell them your story, now they've got a personal connection to a real person. I want those relationships, that kind of game I explained to you. I want you to try to make it to where you can see somebody in person and talk to them. Let them know who you are, even though it's remote work. I think that's going to get you the breakthrough. You're doing great, though. That debt-free journey, it's going to be over before you know it. You're crushing it. George and I are proud of you. Keep it going. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, where we are coming to you from our Ramsey Solutions Worldwide headquarters in the Nashville area. Thrilled to have you with us. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague George Camel. We're here for you this hour. 888-825-5225. George, it's tax time.
Oh, boy.
Ugh.
I'm doing mine tomorrow, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah, we're going out to lunch after to celebrate.
Oh, that's a nice move. Yeah,
that's
it's
what we
like
gotta do.
You get it done, you go celebrate.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's great. Well, for many of you, you've been filing your taxes with the same software for years, but you are sick and tired of add-on fees. Is that you? Does that sound like you?
That's me.
It's you. It's all these folks.
Sick of it.
Sick of it. It's a disgusting feeling. Yeah. And you've probably seen all these ads on TV playing like crazy, saying it's free to do your taxes with the big companies. But the reality is it's not free. By the time you realize you don't meet the free criteria, you've put in too much time to start over somewhere else, so you're paying up. We think you deserve better. That's why we're offering Ramsey Smart Tax, so you can file your taxes online without paying more than you'd expect. Ramsey Smart Tax includes every form you need with no hidden fees and no surprises. We even have a promo code right now, so you can file your federal taxes for free. And if you want more priority support and extended audit protection, you can go with our premium version for just $20. So if you're ready to ditch the other guys and their surprising fees and save on your taxes, go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax. That's RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax. All right, Daniel is up next in Lexington, Kentucky. Daniel, how can we help?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We're having a blast. What's going on?
Good. My dad passed away in October, didn't leave my mom much money, and he has bought some gold coins. They're not solid gold, but they're supposed to be some sort of value beyond the gold that's in them. And I just want to know if this is something we should hang on to or something we should move.
Well, first, Daniel, sorry for your loss.
He's in a better place. I appreciate it.
Yeah. George, what say you on these gold coins?
Well, I'm getting rid of the gold coins. I mean, are they sentimental? Are they like an heirloom or?
No, it's by one of these companies that trades a lot on .com. My dad wanted to put money in gold and fear the market was going to dip and gold's going to go up, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, we never recommend investing in precious metals. So if I'm you, I'm gonna cash out as much as I can on these and see, melt them down, see what it's worth, maybe to a local jeweler or something like that, and see what your options are in your area to do that. Or there are some online options if you want to look into those as well. But do you think there's a lot of money that's in these?
Well, we can trade them back to the broker. So they're set up to buy, sell, and trade.
Okay.
Any idea on what you'll get for them through the broker?
So the last time we spoke back in September, before Dad passed away, Dad was confused because he saw the price of gold shoot up. He saw a ticker. A lot of confusion in the last few months with him being around, and he thinks that they're worth somewhere around $70,000.
$70,000.
Yeah.
And if you're saying if you traded them back to the broker, you could get upwards of $70,000?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know what the market's done with gold since then.
Yeah, and I know nothing about it. George, you know a little bit more.
I've never invested in gold, but I do know that it has a poor rate of return, especially when you compare it to mutual funds and
But you know what I'm wondering?
stocks and bonds.
I'm wondering, George, should Daniel he shouldn't limit himself, I'm guessing, to just seeing what the broker will give.
I'm going to get a second
It feels
opinion.
a little bit like maybe they would give less, and maybe you can sell these out in the open market. I would just look into it.
Yeah, find out what your options are at least, and get a second and third opinion before you make a move here. But absolutely, I'm gonna cash these out and apply it, filter it through the baby steps. Is this going to be your money personally, or does this go to the family?
No, it's my mom's. I mean, there's a if Mom, were to pass away, or when she does. But I was just making sure for Mom, if she needs the money for X, Y, and Z. The house is older, the car's older. There's things that are going to need to be done, and she's living off of Social Security and 30% of my dad's federal pension.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna help Mom get rid of any debt she has, get the house paid off, and invest the rest so that she can have something to live off of beyond Social Security to give her some dignity in her retirement years for sure. But yeah, I'm getting rid of those gold coins as soon as you figure out what your options are.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, appreciate the
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting situation there. You
Yeah.
got to be careful because the easy route is back to the broker. But if you can get more in the in the open market or whatever you would call it, direct market, that's a good move.
I love doing the research.
Yes, sir, you do. All right, let's go to Peter next in Dallas, Texas. Peter, how can we help?
Hey, fellas, how we doing today?
Having a blast, man. What's going on with you?
Good. I am calling to find out about purchasing versus renting fun stuff. We've been boaters. I grew up on the Mississippi River, owned several boats over the course of the years. Sold our last boat 6-8 months ago. And just staring down, do I want to cut loose of that much money again, for the next boat? Or do I just want to go spend a couple of $100 at a time to rent for an afternoon? And what am I going to
Sorry, Peter, speak directly into your phone for us so we can hear you.
All right.
There we go.
So how do I calculate buying the boat in cash, of course, versus just going and renting what I want with numerous lakes around and that sort of thing?
What's your income, Peter?
There's a shortage of options. But that guy thing that's always
Peter, you're going in and out on us, buddy.
Peter,
you're going in and out.
Peter, I feel like you're on one of those fun vehicles going through a tunnel.
Are you
understand
on a boat right now? That's the question, based on the phone quality.
All right, I tell you what, I got the gist of the question. So do you.
Yeah.
We don't know his debt situation. We don't know his income.
I'll give you our parameters for anything with a motor in it, and I don't want it all to add up to more than 50% of your income. So if this boat is going to be $50,000 and you got the cars and your income $75,000, no, we're not going to pay cash for this boat. Even if you can pay cash for it, I'm going to rent, have a good time. I'm the type who doesn't want to own all of this stuff and maintain it, and you're paying the dock fees, the slip fee, all that kind of stuff, putting the gas in it. I'd rather pay someone else to deal with all of that, and I pay $200 a few times a year, $300, whatever it costs, and enjoy it. But that's just me.
Well, I've heard from a lot of friends, and I think it's a well-known statement. I may butcher it a little bit, but it's kind of like one of your happiest days of your life is the day or two of the happiest days when you buy the boat, when you sell the boat, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is you gave a great ratio by which we say, okay, if we have no debt, and this is the income to the toy ratio, that's pretty straightforward, and I agree with you.
Now, if he's on the boat every single weekend, and he's got a great income, and he can afford this thing with cash easily,
but if
and he wants to hassle with it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he said, I got rid of the boat 6 to 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So who's to say you're not going to get rid of this one 6 to 8 months from now?
Yeah, I like the idea of, we want to take the family out on the lake. Is it a pontoon weekend, or are we going to do some jet skis? I like
Switch
both.
it up.
We've done both. We've taken the kids out before where we'll go get a couple jet skis and take the kids out and go nuts.
I'm a big fan.
There are times where we've done the pontoon, and you rent it. You know what's great about it? There's no stress.
Yeah.
Other than trying to drive the thing.
Yeah. I was almost going to buy a kayak one time, and I go kayaking twice a year, and it costs $25 to rent the kayak. What am I doing going to buy a kayak?
I agree.
And I like to find friends with boats. That is the life hack.
Now, this is the
Find
kind of
you a
stuff
friend with a
people
boat.
come to the Ramsey Show for. Why buy it when you got a friend who's got it?
Yeah, Dave Ramsey's got a boat. He'll let me take it for a spin every now and then, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's a good
No,
effort.
he will drag you behind it.
Yeah.
We've done some lake retreats before where Dave loves to abuse us on the skis.
This is a fun fact. I almost wrecked Dave's jet ski.
You did?
Last summer. Yeah.
Is he aware of this?
He was there, but I think we played it cool.
Okay, I don't think he's aware of this.
He's not listening to the show right now. He's fine.
Yeah.
This never happened, Dave.
Although the next time we're on the boat with him, I will see if I can get Dave to let George drive, just because I want to watch Dave's reaction. He might say sure, at which point you would faint under the pressure.
I will find a way to destroy that boat in 5 seconds.
Well, then I don't want to be on it then. So that's
sinking ship, Ken.
Good
Get
stuff.
off.
All right. Hey, don't go anywhere. More of your questions, your calls coming right up. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague and Ramsey personality, George Camel. We're here for you this hour, taking your calls. 888-825-5225, and out in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Dan and Melissa, welcome.
Hey.
Thank you.
Where are you guys in from?
Thomasville, North Carolina.
Oh, is that the furniture capital, Thomasville?
High Point.
Oh, High Point is. Okay.
Yeah. We're right outside of High Point.
Ah, very nice. Okay, well, welcome. Yeah. All right. So all the way to do your debt-free screen.
That's correct.
Yes. I love it. How much did you pay off?
$345,000.
Whoa!
In 2 years and 6 days.
Whoa! Wow! 2 years and 6 days.
You couldn't have done it in 2 even.
Yeah.
Come on.
We tried.
I love
that.
It took an extra week, right?
You guys are amazing.
That's right. All right. And what was your range of income?
$150,000 to $250,000.
Whoa! Wow. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm an operations manager.
And I'm a cosmetologist.
Nice.
And I've bumped up my I'm so
Income?
nervous. My income with side gigs.
Good for you. I was going to ask that question.
Melissa went to work. That's what jumped that up.
So, Melissa, you're responsible for that $100,000
No, not quite that much.
Not quite.
A lot of it.
But a lot of it. Good on you. That is fantastic. All right. So, tell us, what kind of debt was this?
So we had a little bit of everything. Obviously, had a home equity line. We had a beach condo that we sold.
Wow.
Also, a Lowe's credit card. And then, obviously, it's our mortgage, Ken.
What?
Yes.
What? The house?
Yeah, the house and everything.
Oh, we're looking at weirdos.
Yeah, we were pretty weird.
That's awesome.
We don't mind.
Goodness. Oh, my word. So what's the reaction for you all once the house was paid off? What was different? Was the grass different like Dave talks about? Was there something else?
The grass is definitely different. We were out of our house for furniture market. We rent.
Okay.
So we had to come home and take our shoes off.
I'll bet you did.
Then we took the picture and all that. It does feel different. For me, Melissa loves writing stuff on paper, and I like the Every Dollar app. So I'm telling you, the first month after not having a mortgage payment, and you set the budget, you're like, it's zero there.
Yeah.
That's when it hit.
And then you get to go, ooh, where does this money go now? This is fun.
Well, isn't that is fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so 2 years, 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
What was the inspiration? What was the drag? What was going on that made you go, all right, let's get serious about this and pay the house off?
Yeah, the inspiration, I'll let Melissa start because she was inspired before me. So why don't you go?
So our pastor did a series on generosity. And I was like, it just hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to be more generous, and right now we can't. So that day we were having the last day to sign up for FPU, which is the second time we've taken it at that point. We actually saw Dave in 1999 live, and then life hit, and we just totally didn't do anything. So
20 years of just ish, right, and normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we started FPU, and I was just like, we got to get this going. So I think the second class of FPU, I had a 2015 Murano decked out. It was so nice, and I said, we're selling the car. It was paid for already, but actually on our HELOC.
Yeah.
So we sold that, and I now drive a 2006 minivan. That we pay cash for. Dumped the extra on the HELOC.
That's amazing. Dan, how did you react when she said, after class 2, I'm getting rid of the Murano?
Yeah, it's that was kind of hard for me. I think for me, the inspiration, I obviously wanted to set up financially for my family. My son Gage is off to the side here as well, and my daughter Dakota couldn't be here today, but I wanted to set them up financially. So that was my inspiration. But after going through FPU and seeing this, and then seeing us like get rid of things, it was motivating. And I think teaching the class as well kind of held us accountable. We'll start our 4th class in 2 weeks.
Wow. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. It's good for us because it's a reminder, and it keeps us accountable to stay the course. So and that's helped a lot.
You guys are amazing. So what's this house worth?
House roughly about $400,000.
Oh yeah, no big deal. Look at that. Oh, our viewing audience got a picture there. That's
beautiful.
How about that? That grass, by the way, does look phenomenal.
Great lawn care.
I must tell you, I'm a guy who likes a good-looking lawn, and you, sir, well done. I will applaud that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's next for you guys? Baby step 7, you're a young family. What are you dreaming of?
I mean, obviously we're transitioning more empty nesting. The kids are 22 and 18. So for us, I really started and did FPU because we wanted to get to this point. For me, it was an inspiration, George. One day I just wanted to be able to just give our cars away.
Wow.
So that was a motivator to get to a point, and we've gone way back in car to get where we are. So I'm looking forward to Melissa's 06 car and my 09 just to give them away. So that's really what's next, setting our kids up for a great future, and then just being outrageously generous, just crazy generous. That's what we want to do.
Wow. It's a beautiful vision and an awesome why to have, especially as people of faith. It just drives me crazy that they're the broke ones. They should be leading the charge with generosity and these financial principles, and you guys decided, you know what, we want to be able to give way more than we are right now, and this debt is holding us back from having an impact on our community, on this country. So I love that.
Yes.
It's incredible.
So what's the key?
I think at first for me, everybody says budget, and the one before said budget. That is really true. I was kicking and screaming on the budget part because I just figured I could just out-earn everything, right? I'm just going to out-earn it, but you can't. You got to put it on paper. You got to make things visual. I brought this. This is hilarious. My wife loves to color. Ken
I'm
and
addicted
George.
to coloring now.
This is our mortgage little guide.
She stayed
here.
in the lines too. I can tell.
She did.
Great coloring
And
job.
did she create that whole snake too?
Well, I think she printed it online and just made a printout of
It's
it.
like a paint by numbers
Yeah.
situation.
Oh, I love that.
But we also did one that was the debt-free journey with our consumer, and I did draw that one, but I couldn't find it
That's
to bring.
amazing.
So that does keep you motivated. It's on the fridge. You see it.
Yes.
She was just very adamant. Every paycheck, she was carving out, I need to color some more. I need to color some more.
Wow.
And that's what did it.
I got to tell you.
You need the visual, you got to have the budget, and you got to have a big why.
There you go.
Some keys there.
And that's what we heard. And I want to just say this to Melissa. My parents got me a Bob Ross coloring book for Christmas as a joke because I used to love watching Bob Ross. Pulled it out the other night and gave it a try.
There you go.
I'm not very good.
I really only liked coloring the squares.
Yeah. I know. It's kind of interesting. I thought maybe this will be fun. I lost track.
Your adult coloring career is not going to happen.
Yeah, I love it. So, who are your big cheerleaders in this process?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, our family, our kids, they both have been through FPU. At some points, Gage was like, God, can we just stop acting like we're poor?
Right.
But they've been through it, so we've enjoyed that. Obviously, our parents, Melissa's parents, were huge for us. I've got a Monday morning breakfast group that I meet with. Those guys have been phenomenal. We talk money. We talk a little bit of everything, and they're inspiring. So it was really
friends
big.
that we met in our first FPU class in 19 when we were taking it again.
That's so fun. Now, are you currently teaching a class, or you're currently off?
No,
March
we're off.
10th.
March 10th, we'll start our next
a new
one.
How fun is that going to be to tell them your story, and they know your baby step 7, and this is so fun.
And we've been where they were. That's
of course
that's
you
what
did.
helps.
Yeah. Yes, it's so inspiring, so great. All right, so Gage, is he going to join us in there for the scream?
Yeah.
There he is, sharp-looking young man there. He's a part of this journey. Hey, 2 things we're going to give you real quick, and then we'll get to the scream. 1, Total Money Makeover from Dave, his wildly selling book, and that's for you to give to somebody else. And then 2nd, his latest book, #1 bestseller, Baby Steps Millionaires, because that's where you guys are headed if you're not already there. That is so fantastic. All right, let's hear it. We've got Dan and Melissa and Gage from Thomasville, North Carolina, right there in the High Point, North Carolina area. They paid off $345,000 in 2 years, in 6 days, making $150,000 to $250,000. Way to go, Melissa. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
Yeah, there it is. All right. Very nice. I want to give a shout out to Dakota as well. She's not here with them, but she was also a big part of this. What a great story. And you can just see, George, you could see legacy pouring out of them. They are going to make such an impact with this debt-free lifestyle.
I see levity, too.
7.
Legacy and levity.
George, there you go.
That's debt freedom, baby.
You did it. He's a wordsmith, folks. Hey, great stuff. Don't move. More of the Ramsey Show coming right up. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, and I'm joined in studio by my co-host today, George Campbell. And we are here for you. It is a free phone call if you want to jump in, 888-825-5225. Blinds.com's 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, they will remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Make sure you use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Jordan in Texas. I want to make a career change and go into financial advising. Currently, I'm in retail management and finishing my bachelor's degree in finance and economics. If I make this move, my income will go from $115,000 down to $60,000 due to the lack of certifications. My wife and I are in baby step 6 and could pay off our home in 2 years based on our current income of $225,000 per year. My dream job is to one day become a certified financial planner. Does it make sense to make the move now or wait 2 years until I finish school and pay off our home?
All right, George, this is a career and a money question
Classic.
here, and I say absolutely it does not make sense to make this move now at all. Because you need to finish school, and then there's the additional certifications you're going to need that he's outlined here. Hey, be patient.
Yeah.
Because the certified financial planner, which is the dream job, it is not as far away as you think. It will be there when you do this the right way, and the right way is they've been so disciplined to this point to get to baby step 6 and be working on that, stay the course. You're making really good money. And you know what I want him to do to encourage him while he's holding, right, on make it. I don't want you to make the move backward financially. It's not necessary. What I want him to do is make some connections. Start hanging out with certified financial planners. Use the proximity principle. It says in order to do what you want to do, fill in the blank here, certified financial planner, got to be around people that are doing that.
Yes.
And in that 2-year period where he's finishing school and they're paying off the house in baby step 6, he can be making connections so that when the degree is done, the debt is paid off, he can go get the certifications, and while he's doing that, he's still making all these connections. You got 2 years plus, whatever it takes to make the certifications reality, to get some great connections to get the gig.
Yeah, and what I love about that is he's got a paid-for house. Well, now he doesn't have the pressure of, even if the income dips a little bit as he steps into this new field, he's not going to feel it. And so it's not that far away, and I love that he's wanted to move into this field, and especially in the CFP world, it's never too late. I got so many friends that have shifted, moved into that career field. They're doing great now, but it takes a while to build, a book of business and get on your feet. It's just like real estate. Your first year is not going to be amazing usually. So I love that he's stepping into this. Maybe one day he'll be one of our SmartVestor pros helping our fans.
Feel like he might be. So, hey,
cool.
Hold. No need to make that move now, but appreciate the question so very much. All right, let's go to Andrew now, who joins us on the line in Tampa, Florida. Andrew, how can we help?
Hi, thank you for having me on this show. So I'll just get right into it. I am a computer engineering student. I graduate this May. So I am currently with my fiance. We're $60,000 in debt with student loans, mostly mine. But it looks like in May we'll have around a combined income of $130,000. So my question to you is, because right now we do not pay rent. There was a circumstance where we had to move with our family since there was a death in the family. So my question is, should we rent or should we take a mortgage? Because right now the Tampa area, some of the rent prices are a little inflated.
Well, I'll make this real simple. We are not going to buy a house right now. And there's a lot of reasons. Number one, even if you were debt-free, I would say still rent for a year, at least. When are you guys getting married?
We're getting married in May 12th, so about 4 months when I graduate.
Wow, so you're graduating and immediately getting married.
We've been together for 5 years, so it's been a while coming.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for you guys. With that combined income, what I want you to do is use all the power you can with that. Maybe you're even doing freelance, computer development, software engineering type stuff to get rid of these student loans very fast. Is that all of the debt you guys will have combined is $60,000 in student loans?
She has a little bit in car debt, so it'd be about, I say, $12,000. So total about $72,000. She currently makes about $65,000, and I make $29 an hour as an intern. So
okay.
We're projecting it to be higher when I get hired by the company.
Okay, well, if I'm you guys, as soon as you're married, you're back from the honeymoon, we're combining bank accounts, we're going to set aside $1,000, and any other money we are throwing at the $72,000 in debt using the debt snowball. So we're going to list them out from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rate, which I know is hard because you're a math guy, computer whiz, but we're going to ignore the interest rate in order to see the progress. And with this income, I'm hoping you guys can do this in 12 to 18 months with your income. If you're doing some extra work as well, I want you to set yourself up as fast as you can with this marriage, completely debt-free. And then once you've got the debt paid off, you have a fully funded emergency fund. We're going to go back to that $1,000, fill it up with 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then and only then do you even start thinking about the house, and we start saving up for the down payment in baby step 3B.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know that hurts to hear, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've been wrestling with it. It was just definitely the down payments that we were wrestling about.
Well, I want you to put at least 10% down. 20% is ideal or more because you avoid PMI, which, again, if you're a math guy, that should make you angry that you're throwing away money towards lenders to protect them. So make that a goal. And listen, this is not going to happen in the next year. You're looking at a 2, 3, 4 year time horizon, but man, that patience is going to pay dividends for the rest of your lives together instead of putting yourselves in a hole right now because, rent is high in Tampa and the real estate market's crazy. It's crazy everywhere. So be patient. Let this time earn you some patience and let you save up for a few years. Your income's going to continually go up, and you're going to be in a really great spot a few years from now and have that financial peace.
Dave and I have talked when I've been on the show a day before, and somebody calls in rent or buy, and we've talked about the psychology around renting.
Yeah.
There's this. It's almost like an urban legend, if you want to call it that, where like renting is throwing your money away.
It's a sin.
Go get in a giant hole of debt because you're making it count for yourself. There's that school of thought. I'm just curious, for a millennial, I think he's a young man. George, is there anything additional psychology there for younger people in this that you encounter, that you've dealt with?
I think young people, especially the millennial generation, Gen Z coming up now, they're all feeling this pressure from society, from their parents, and the parents are saying, "When I was your age, I got a house for $8,000 in cash. What are you doing? You don't have a house yet." And so they feel this pressure like they should be further along by now. And I've worked too hard to rent. Only poor people rent. It's just a myth. It's a total lie. There's nothing wrong with renting. In fact, there's so many great things about renting that you don't have to deal with that you really do as a homeowner. And there's HOA fees, there's maintenance, there's property taxes. The insurance is more expensive. You have to fix everything. You got to replace the HVAC. You got to replace the roof. And so let that time be special, and let it be a time where you, especially for newlyweds, not the time to be jumping into home ownership. Get to know each other.
Learning how to live together, and financial stress doesn't help that.
You don't even know who's going to get the sock drawer. I mean, you got some things to figure out as a married couple.
It's really true.
Before you jump into home ownership. So I just want to tell all the young folks out there, be patient. Don't live your life in this microwave way of instant gratification. Get that delayed gratification. Live your life crock pot, low and slow, and you're going to have a delicious financial meal if you do that.
Yeah, I really think that's true. And, you kind of made a joke about the sock drawer, but, it is hard to learn how to blend two types of experiences that relates to lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for instance,
different backgrounds, different upbringings.
Yeah. So, in the woman's house, well, this is the dad did this. My dad always did this, and in your house, you're going, well, my dad never did. And so, there's enough of that natural kind of bumping into each other, learning how are we going to do life together.
Yeah.
And it is hard. It really is hard.
But this reminds me, I want to gift Andrew a year subscription to Ramsey Plus.
Oh,
and have him and his fiance. I want them to go through Financial Peace University together, get access to Every Dollar Plus, our premium budgeting tool. So that is our wedding gift to you, Andrew. Hope you enjoy that. Go through it with your wife. Get on the same page. You'll be in great shape.
Yeah, and you can already tell they're very sharp. Sharp young man. Good things are ahead. Love the advice, George. Really good. Hey, George, thanks for hanging out with me.
Absolutely.
On this hour, I want to thank our team in the control booth back there. They do so good for us each hour, making us look way better than we actually are and allowing a great experience for you, the listener. Thank you, folks. And to our audience, it is all about you. It is your life. It is your show. It is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, my co-host this hour. He is George Kamel. We are here for you, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. If you are winning at work, but your personal life is falling apart because of money issues or relationship issues, that's going to eventually affect you at work. You flip that, things are going great at home. Maybe money's great, but work is awful. You're dragging that home too. We want to help you win in those three key areas.
Call it a flat tire.
Yeah. And they all work together. So if we can help you do that, we want to do that. Georgia, we've had some fun and lively discussion today. Good
way
stuff.
to put it.
Yeah. All right, let's get it started. We're going to go to Calgary in Alberta, Canada, and Niven is joining us there. Niven, you are on The Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Hi there, Ken and George. Glad to be talking with you both.
You bet. What's up?
I'm calling because my wife and I are planning on starting a small business. And just to give you background, I am a photographer here. And I just wanted to figure out how best to go about onboarding some people at the ground stage here for this business and provide value for them with not a whole lot of capital to start off with. Not in a position to give off salary and everything like that, but we know that we're going to need help in starting the business, especially finding talent and things like that. And so I was wondering how I can provide value to somebody that starts off at the very bottom with us and go forward with the business.
Okay. Now, I appreciate the question and the heart behind the question, but I just got to know, what do you mean by value? Are you not able to pay a salary?
Well, I'm not. It wouldn't be like a full-time thing to start off with, right? We need to really build up a client base and things like that. So, I have the people already, and they're willing to work on it, and they're part-time, and that's all I'm really looking for.
Do you have the money to pay them part-time?
Not exactly. Not until I want to keep it as low cost as possible and provide them with, as we get more clients on board, to give them, maybe the commission or something like that.
Okay, so Niven, listen, you got to treat this like a self-proprietorship. Like you are the business, you're the photographer. Yes or no?
So I am, but that's the thing. I'm actually, there's only so many events I can shoot. I've learned the whole thing of marketing, getting clients, things like that. But when my calendar gets booked up,
okay, hold on.
Still getting
is your calendar booked up now?
It's getting there. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. If it's getting there, it's not booked up. So here, back to what I'm saying. I think you're getting way ahead of yourself, and I love this. It's coming from a good place. But your calendar needs to be full.
Okay.
And is your wife helping you at all in the business, or is it just some support work? I mean, the photography business is you, the photographer. I understand setting up lights and some stuff like that. I mean, I know enough. I've got some friends that started it. You don't need a whole bunch of help until your calendar gets completely booked and you've got a lot of requests coming in and you're going, I physically can't say yes to this. I need another photographer underneath of me. So you don't need to worry about this problem yet. And so my question is what is your wife doing in the business now besides you? Who else is doing something?
Okay, sorry. I think I should give an idea of what the business actually is, because it's not just me doing photography. It's not just that. I was going to oversee a business of multiple photographers and advertising them and putting their portfolios out.
Yeah, but you don't have, I know that's what you want to do, but my point is you don't even have the business to make yourself have a full schedule yet, correct?
Yes, but I wouldn't be a photographer in this business.
You would just be running it, handling the different gigs and different photographers.
All right. Okay. I'm sort of confused, but I understand. Okay, here's the deal. You can't pay somebody until you've got the business to pay them. So asking people, hey, are you willing to come on for part-time hourly work? And if they say yes, then that's what you can do. So then you work with them and you go, this is what the market it kind of is bearing in this area in Calgary. And so we're going to offer you this part-time. And then as your business grows and you can move them to full-time or give them a bump on the hourly pay, then you do that. So it's not how do we do it now before we have the business. It's how do we scale up. But right now you don't have enough business. So if you're going to launch this new business, that's fine, but you can't start paying and commit to paying something when you're not getting income. So you're just going to have to wait and be patient. As you get more business in and you can afford to pay for somebody, then you do it. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, but don't get into this. And George, we see this a lot, with entrepreneurs. They get very excited. And it's awesome to be excited.
Yeah.
But start small, grow slow.
Yeah, I worked for a videographer back in college, and he would hire me for just part-time work, and I'd help him, second shooter at a wedding, something like that, running a video camera. And I loved it because I was getting paid, $20-25 an hour as a college student, and I thought I'm rich. And he was happy because he was charging, $3,000, $4,000 to shoot this wedding.
Right.
And so you've got to build that into your profits.
But he didn't come to you and say, hey,
do this for free for exposure.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find a way to add value to you. Listen, people aren't going to come work for you because you're going to add value to them.
No, you've got to be able to pay your people, and photographers, they're a dime a dozen here in Nashville. I mean, you can find them on every corner, but if you can find someone who's hungry for some work and you're the one doing all the work of getting the gigs, handling the scheduling, working with the clients, that's stuff that creatives generally don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of value in what he's talking about to just be able to do my craft.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are photographers who would do that, but you've got to start to hire some part-time people as the books get filled up, and you can't do it.
And here's what I want to talk to. I want to speak to entrepreneurs because we have a lot of people who want to start a business. And so if we stay here in the Vin's kind of setup, he still needs to he needs to fully book himself. Here's why. I know he wants to run a business of photographers, but right now the greatest credibility for him would be he's full-time, he's maxed out, and then he earns the client because they know his reputation, and he says, I've got another photographer that can do it. That's how he begins to build the business where he's leading other photographers.
That makes sense.
He has to win on his own and create demand that he will then scale up.
Yeah, and Niven, I'll do you a favor. I'll send you a copy of Dave's best-selling book, Entre Leadership. So hang on, Kelly will pick up and we'll get your information and send that over to you. But that's going to walk you through how Dave built a business from a card table in his living room to now hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue and serving a lot of people. And so I want to see you scale and grow, but you got to do it slow, and it's going to take time, probably longer than you want. But that is the smart way to do it. And do it at the speed of cash, always.
Yes. Don't get yourself promising stuff that you can't deliver on. It's okay. Be patient. This thing's going to grow, and we're really excited for you. Thank you for the call. It's a really good call, good question. Be patient, grow slow. All right, we got to do a quick break, but we're not going anywhere. Don't you go anywhere either. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to The Ramsey Show. It's where America's hanging out to win financially, to win relationally, to win professionally. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague and co-host of The Shower, George Kimmel. We're thrilled to be with you. Tax season is upon us. I know. Try not to throw up in your mouth. I get it. Nobody likes doing their taxes, especially when you realize that big software companies are up to a scheme. Every year, these companies lure you in by saying you can file your taxes for free, and then when you're knee-deep in the filing process, they sucker punch you with upcharges, loan offers, and credit card pitches. There's a better way to do it. It's called Ramsey Smart Tax. It's our online tax filing software. With Ramsey Smart Tax, you get all of the deductions, all the forms, and every tax break you deserve, but the best part is the price. We're already lower than the leading competitors, and you won't find hidden fees. Plus, this year we have a promo code that'll truly make it free to file your federal taxes. Did you hear that, George? I said it's free.
If it's free, it's for me.
Oh, very nice, George.
I love it.
Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax to get your promo code and file without the surprises. Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax. All right, let's go to Columbus, Ohio. Amber joins us there. Amber, how can we help?
Yes, hi. I just became a single mom and started working full time. I work 40-plus hours and about $12,000, a little over $12,000 in debt, and trying to get that paid off within about 2 years' time because my kids are going to start going to school and just not wanting to have to worry about kind of that extra burden of them going to school, extra daycare, different things like that, and to see kind of where I could cut financially or what I can do to kind of help relieve some of that stress.
Yeah, so I want George to walk you through the financial piece, and then I want to come in and talk about the income part of this and see if we can help juice this process, George.
Yeah, when I hear $12,000 in 2 years, I hear I'm not making a lot of money for the amount of time I'm putting in here. So what's your income?
My income right now is about $40,000 to $45,000 a year.
Okay. And what's left at the end of the month? Nothing?
Not really anything left at the end of the month.
Okay. Is that because of the kids? Have you reined in doing a budget and all those kinds of things, or are you kind of new to all this?
I knew all of it because with separating from my husband, I was a stay-at-home mom, so we never really he had obviously a lot better job than I did. So we never really had to worry about that. So it's all new all at once. And then also just taking on all the financial everything, the car payment, the rent, just everything all at once.
Are you getting any alimony or child support?
I just started child support last month.
Okay. Is that included in the 45, or is that separate?
No, that is not. That's separate.
Okay. Well, I definitely want you to get on a written plan every month. We've got to start paying attention to every single dollar coming in, giving it a job, giving it a name so it can go to work for you to pay down this debt. Because looking at it on paper, I go, $12,000, we can clean that up real fast. I mean, you can do that with a side job.
What is the $12,000 in debt?
95% of it is car loan.
Okay.
And then also a loan for the lawyer.
How much is in the actual car loan of the $12,000? Is it 11.5?
9,000.
Oh, it's 9,000. What's the car worth? Do you know?
It's not worth more than like 5,000.
Okay.
What kind of car is it?
It is a 2012 Dodge Caravan.
Okay.
How many miles on it?
130,000.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in this car market, I would not be shocked if it was worth way more than 5,000. Just the demand of those types of vehicles. So this might be a way to clean this up fast because I don't want you sitting in this for 2 years. And if there's not a great way to get your income up, then we've got to figure out another solution here. So what are you doing for work?
I work at a warehouse with Polaris.
Okay. And is there overtime there? Because you said you're working more than 40 hours a week.
Yes, there's plenty of overtime. That's why, but I don't get to choose the overtime. I have to stay there and do the overtime.
Okay. And then what's the child care situation when you're at work all day?
My mom watches them right now, but I do pay her. Obviously not
market rate?
Not market rate.
Okay.
But still, that's another financial burden on top of everything else.
Yeah. Well, looking at the numbers, I mean, 45 plus the child support, I feel like this shouldn't be taking 2 years, and so what I would want to do is really look at the numbers on this, look at the budget, see where we can trim, see where the money's going to find out how much margin we can create at the end of each month to be able to throw at this debt. Because right now, based on the numbers you told me, you're looking at $500 max of margin per month that you could create.
Okay.
And so I want to see that number go up to, can we create $1,000 of margin a month with overtime, and I'm slashing the expenses, and we're not eating out, and we're not spending online? How can we create $1,500 a month? And that's where I start to get excited, and you start to look at the numbers and feel the progress, and you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, how much is the car payment? We know what it's worth. We know what the loan is. How much are you paying in the car payment?
$350 a month.
Okay. So can you imagine how life would feel if you didn't have that?
It would feel amazing because right before I separated with my husband, we were almost debt-free. but we needed a second vehicle.
Sure.
So we got another car loan.
Oh, okay, good. So you were on this journey before the divorce.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, we only had his student loan before we separated, and that was it. He didn't have any debt.
Do you feel like he's not going to be a deadbeat? He's going to pay his payments. He's financially secure, and despite the pain of this divorce and whatever's going on there, do you feel like he's going to be consistent with the child support payments?
I sure hope so, because that would help out a lot. But I'm not holding my breath because I don't want it to be a source of income and then it go away, and now I'm out that source of income.
So I want to see you. What steps can we take? Because in the near future, and maybe for the long-term future, you're going to be a full-time working mom, and you can do this. And George is right. So one of the things I want to help you do is make more income. What do we need to do to get you a $55,000, $60,000, $65,000, $70,000, $75,000 a year job? What would you do? I know you're going through a lot right now, but what would you do? Is there something you've wondered about or something you would love to do if you didn't have to spend time getting qualified and spend money as well? Does anything pop at the top of your mind?
In my job right now, I did apply for a couple of positions that would make that possible to do a huge pay raise. It's just a matter of the job interviews and seeing if I got it, because it's just a process of what I have to do there.
Well, I applaud you for going after it, but what would you love to do? You got an idea?
I honestly have no idea. I've done the nursing before because that's what I thought, but I didn't love it, and so I stepped out of that.
So you're interesting. Well, I want to challenge you on something. You don't have to go back to nursing, but I got to tell you, if in the world we're in right now, if you were to jump back into that for a small period of time to get out of debt faster, get that emergency fund fully funded, boy, I would consider that. But here's the deal, George. I don't know what you're going to give her. You may give her something, you may not. But I'm going to give her, I want two things I'm going to give her. Amber, I want you to take the Get Clear Career Assessment. Okay? It's a 20 to 25-minute online assessment. Just be honest with yourself, and it's going to fill out for you a detailed report on what you're really talented at, what work you would really enjoy, and what results you want to produce. And that's going to allow you to identify a dream job with your purpose statement. Okay. It's going to give you some ideas, and I'm going to give you, to go along with that, the book From Paycheck to Purpose, my best-selling book. Think of the assessment as a compass that'll help you identify a mountain that you really want to scale professionally, and then think of the book as the guide up the mountain. I'm going to give you those two things. Kelly will pick up and give those to you, but George is giving you some great advice. You can knock this $12,000 of debt out pretty quickly by just getting control of that budget. If we can juice your income, and you're trying right now, use the two tools I'm giving you. Let's identify what you really want to do and why you want to do it. And I think that $75,000 income is extremely attainable, George, and even beyond that.
Yeah. And I'm going to actually gift you Ramsey Plus as well. Get plugged into the Every Dollar Plus budgeting tool. Watch Financial Peace University. Get excited. Get plugged into the budget. Let it work for you. Let it give you permission to spend. And you're going to feel the freedom soon enough, Amber. Can't wait.
Amber, we're sorry you're going through this heartbreak, but those babies need you, and you can do it. We believe in you. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel. We are here for you, taking your money questions, your relationship questions, your work questions. All of those are about you being your best self and living your best life, and that's why we're here for you. 888-825-5225 is the number. 888-825-5225. Okay, one of the big cultural norms, cultural myths, is that a college degree is the best way to success. Now, that may have been true based on where culture was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's not true anymore as education continues to evolve, as technology evolves. And one of the things I wanted to point out, George, is a recent Yahoo News story that talks about a new report that shows which colleges offer the best ROI. So we got a lot of money questions and calls. Obviously, people don't want to win with their money on the show. And so ROI standing for return on investment. So if you think about how much money you spend over 4 years, and here's the deal. The data shows us that a lot of kids are taking 5 to 6 years. So this is let's call it a 4 to 6 year spend on college. All right. And so just touching on a few things from the article. The report has a calculator where you can go in and you can search 3,300 colleges in the United States. And from this report, you see a lot of technical institutions, science and engineering type institutions tend to have a greater ROI, right? Because of the explosive growth in those areas. And, the even the entry level in those areas is quite nice. And here's how they came up with it. How they come up with, because I think this is important for consumers, is they're thinking, what's the right school for my kid? What's the right school for me? More on that in a second. But this report basically took the college earnings premium, which is the pay bump that students would get after graduation or as a result of graduation, and they divide that number by the cost of tuition. And then it's going to take into account a range of other factors like student debt, to how long it takes to complete it. So what are you racking up in debt? How long is it taking to get to the degree? As well as what are the labor market challenges that graduates will face? And give you an example of what I'm talking about here. We know that over 50%, I think it was about 52% of college graduates in 2021 took 6 months to find a job in the field they went to be trained for. So this takes into account that as well.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to dive into this very deeply, but public institutions via this report, this ROI calculator, George, tended to do much better. The private nonprofit institutions were next, and then the private for-profit institutions, not so good.
Uh-oh.
So now let me just call this out because this is a trap. The private for-profit institutions that did not have a good ROI, in fact, according to this report, just 69% offered a positive return. And I don't want to name names and hack anybody off.
Sure.
But, they're out there, they're for-profit and they're big box. It's like, hey, come here, we'll get you trained for continuing education, blah, blah, blah. So be careful.
I'm looking at some interesting numbers here on the calculator.
What do you got?
I typed some schools in just to see. My alma mater has a $200,000 positive ROI.
Oh, very nice.
Texas Tech, Dr. John Deloney's alma mater, has a $1 million ROI. Typed in Harvard University, just to see, $3 million ROI. And so that's what they're saying. It's very interesting, but to look at different schools, and this varies person to person. If you get a full ride, well, that changes the game versus going $300,000
And let's also understand, we are not endorsing this calculator. I want to be very clear. I'm saying it's a very interesting
tool.
It's an interesting tool, but I think you've got to take into effect the student loan nonsense.
Yes.
And what you're going to saddle yourself with. And I'm just going to say this to everybody listening and watching. When was the last time you went to the doctor's office or the dentist office or you sitting down with your CPA, and before you decided to pay them for their services, did you ask them to show you their diploma? Nobody cares.
I scan the wall looking at the frame.
I know you do, George, but you're neurotic. Nobody else does that. No, we're kidding. He doesn't do that. So this is the point. Let me just also give you a two-part question that I'm trying to help parents grasp. Is college the only way for your kid to get where they want to go? Secondary question. Is it the best way? If the answer is no to either one of those, please be okay going to the block party or the golf course or the soccer game and going, hey, my kid's going into trade school. Stop being ashamed of it, for crying out loud.
It wears me out, the shame that we've put on community colleges, on trade schools, on state schools even, and it's got to stop because it's putting our kids in chains for 20 years so that the parents can feel good. So they can brag to their friends about where their kid went to school.
Yeah, it's become about status, folks.
Don't go for the football team. Don't go for the landscaping. Don't go for the water slide.
Yeah, if you've got to get the degree, get it. If it's the best way to get where you want to go, do it. If it's not, get over yourself.
And this is a great pitch for everyone to go watch Borrowed Future. It's 88 minutes long. You've got to see this. Sit down with your kids, parents. If you don't know how to have this conversation, this documentary can be a great place to start. This is a world-class documentary we put out late last year. It's like $5 to go watch the thing. You can get it on Amazon Prime, on Apple TV, at our website, borrowedfuture.com. And listen to the podcast. That's a free resource, Borrowed Future. We did 8 episodes on that, on the student loan crisis, and it was eye-opening. But it just made me go, I want to shake every student and go, there's another way.
Well, you realize...
You don't have to fall for the traps.
You realize that higher education has become about their fortunes, not your futures.
Amen.
So there you go.
You should tweet that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. You need to spread that one, folks. All right, let's go to Michael, who joins us in San Antonio, Texas. Michael, how can we help?
So I'm in a dilemma right now. So I finished baby step 2 last May.
Great.
Last July, my house burned down.
Oh, my gosh.
Everything in it.
Oh, no.
So sorry.
So it's been a rough 8 months or so since then. However, I'm still stuck with the option. I can either rebuild a house. I could buy a house. I could rent a house, go temporary housing for a while. The reason why it's an issue now is the insurance company gave me 6 months in October for temporary housing for me to rebuild. However, the individuals that I've had assisting me with architectural plans and whatnot, we have not been able to get anything confirmed yet. So therefore, I haven't even started building the house. If it's going to be a 6 to 8 month process to build once I start groundwork.
And then you're on your own to pay for housing beyond that 6 months?
Yes, sir.
So what would happen if you moved and you didn't rebuild? What does that look like on the insurance side?
So the insurance is fine with that, but there is, so they've already cut me the check for depreciated value for the home. However, if I do not contract to rebuild, I would lose the option to be able to get the $70,000 roundabout figure for total replacement costs.
Oh, so you're losing out on $70,000, or do you pony up and pay for your own housing and hope this thing gets built sooner rather than later?
Right. That and my mortgage is at right around $67,000. So my mortgage company is holding that amount of money out of the money that was allotted to me for the depreciated cost. So right now I have the chance of getting $140,000 roundabout if I rebuild and then still continuing on with my $67,000 mortgage, or walk away, go buy or rent something, pay off my house, hopes that I can sell the land or hold on to it and rebuild later.
Well, I'm going to get some clarity or switch builders. I'm doing something here because this guy's not moving the needle for you. So I'm going to get some clear plans on what this timeline looks like. And if you can do this in 6 months, 8 months, I might just pony up and find my own housing situation and rebuild.
Okay.
That's my take. You, Ken?
I think you've analyzed this. Got to move quickly, though. I want some urgency.
Yeah.
This is an urgent situation. Let's do our research. Let's get all of our options. Let's make a decision. Yeah. So sorry, though.
Yeah, it's a tough situation
I honestly am sitting here trying to process what he's been through to lose everything in a fire. Michael, thank you for the call. We admire you. You got great strength. And here's the deal. Take George's advice. Move forward. Make good, solid decisions. The best is yet to be. So sorry for you. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are listening to The Ramsey Show. Thrilled to have you with us. Ken Coleman, George Camel joining me here as my co-host this hour. Our scripture of the day, Isaiah 9, verse 2. Those who walk in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in spaces of deepest darkness, a light has dawned. Our quote today from Maya Angelou, the great poet: if one has courage Nothing can dim the light that shines from within. All right, let's get back to the phones. 888-825-5225, Madison, Wisconsin. Brandon is there. Brandon, how can we help?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I have to refinance my house after going through a divorce, and I was wondering, I currently owe like $131,000 on it. I think it's probably worth around $220,000, depending on what the appraisal comes back at. I was wondering what the thought is on taking some cash out. I have to take some cash out to pay off my ex-wife on the equity, but I was wondering what your thoughts are on taking a little bit more out to pay off some of my higher credit card debt to free up some of that monthly payment.
Well, Brandon, I'm so sorry that you're going through this divorce. That's a real painful thing, and there's a lot spinning in your mind on top of the financial stuff, I'm sure. How fresh is this?
A month.
Wow. I'm so sorry. Well, I'll talk through the financials with you. You're talking about doing a cash-out refinance?
Correct.
And you're saying I've got to pay her off, so part of it is I have to refinance, get her off the mortgage, and give her some of the equity as cash for her part of it, right?
Correct.
And then you're saying, should I take out even more and just knock out the credit card debt?
Correct.
Well, the answer is a no from me. We don't recommend cash-out refis. Obviously, your situation with the divorce, this is a different situation. But as far as the credit cards, I want you to pay those off separately through the debt snowball and not roll that into a big mortgage. Because that cash-out refi, it's turning your home equity into debt. It's going to keep you in debt for longer. And a bigger loan is going to mean bigger risk. Okay. And so I don't like that option for you. How much credit card debt do you have?
Well, there's some credit card, there's some personal loan, but a total of roughly $60,000.
Okay. What's your income?
$70,000.
All right. And you said some of that is a personal loan?
Yeah, there's a personal loan for $20,000.
And you have 40 in credit cards?
Roughly, yes.
Wow. What was spent on the credit cards? What kind of things were we talking?
You name it. Made a lot of decisions with my heart instead of my head while I was married, so.
Well, I want to change the behavior more than the math on this, and part of that is saying, hey, I'm going to cut up these cards. Have you cut them up yet?
I haven't used them for probably a year since she left.
Okay, good. But this debt's just been hanging around, and you've been obviously going through some things.
Yeah, I've been chipping away at it, but there's just so many moving parts that it's a slow process until everything was finalized. So.
Yeah. Well, my goal for you, do you have any money? Do you have any savings?
I have some, like a very small amount saved up just until I go through the refinance process to pay for any closing costs and anything that's associated with lawyer fees and stuff that are finishing up. But after that's all done is when I plan on really kind of hitting the pavement.
Hitting the baby steps. Okay, so once you have that, set the $1,000 aside, set all the debts smallest to largest, start attacking that little one with a vengeance, and maybe that means there's side jobs involved. Can you work overtime at your job? What are you doing for work?
I'm a paramedic.
Paramedic. Okay, well that sounds like there could be a lot of work to be done in that arena.
There's some overtime available. I've been picking up what I can as long as it doesn't interfere with my time with the kids and whatnot.
Sure. Well, most people that follow these baby steps, they do baby step 2. They pay off all their consumer debt in 18 to 24 months. And so if you're not on track to do that with your salary and the debt numbers, we got to change some things. We got to get rid of some stuff, cut some expenses, sell stuff, get the side jobs, because more than that, it's just too much of a slog, Ken, to go through this for 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, it really is, because, there's the urgency. We've heard Dave, talk about this for very many years, this idea of that gazelle intensity, there's a cheetah chasing you, got to run, know, and it's like that's why to stretch it out over a long period of time is very difficult for anybody. And so the intensity, while it's painful, it is more productive.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Margaret, who joins us in Plantation, Florida. Margaret, how can we help?
Whoa.
Hi, how are you?
Margaret, are you what happened there? I got spooked.
I'm so sorry. I was just finishing up grocery shopping. I am so sorry about that.
Hey, you're a working woman.
That's
I understand.
All right. That's all right. Hope you got some bargains. How can we help?
Yes. Like I was telling your representative, I am so happy to know that after I followed Dave Ramsey's suggestion of the baby steps, we have gotten everything done. The only thing we're at right now is to invest.
So you've got a fully funded emergency fund and you're completely out of consumer debt?
Yes.
Awesome. Way to go, Margaret.
Yeah, way to go. That's a big deal.
Yes, and I'm so grateful to Dave. Everything he said, it works. My husband, he's been with the company for 17 years now. He's a truck driver. He makes decent money, and he's having a company match, but it goes up to 8%. And we're fully funded with that. But now I don't know where to go with the rest of it to make it up to the 15%.
Okay. Are you working as well outside the home?
Yes, I took on another job so that I could help get rid of the debt.
Awesome. And you're still going to continue that?
Yes.
So what's your household income?
With my husband and myself, $82,000 because we just did our taxes.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. So if you take 82 and we say, hey, we're going to invest 15%, that's going to be $12,300.
Yes.
So if we start with the match, you're saying we're going to do 8% of my husband's salary in that 401k because they match it. Beyond that, do you know if he has a Roth 401k option or is it traditional?
It's traditional because, again, with on Mr. Ramsey's suggestion, we did call and find out because we didn't know there was a difference, and they said it was traditional.
Okay.
So now we're looking into the Roth part of it, like he mentioned, rock, paper, scissors. So,
that's what we say is match beats Roth beats traditional. So we want to get all the match we can. Then we move to all of the Roth options we can, which that could mean filling up a Roth IRA for you guys, which the max is about $6,000. So that might get you close already, especially if you're both doing that. And then if we've exhausted the Roth options, then we move to traditional options. So a traditional 401k, a traditional IRA. Would that get you to the 15%?
I'm not sure. That's how come I'm calling the pros, because we were trying to figure it out if that was the additional Roth would get us to the 15%, so I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to just do this. Do you have a 401k at your job?
No, unfortunately.
So you have no retirement options?
No.
But you can open a Roth IRA, and you could fully fund that with your after-tax dollars.
Yes. Actually, we did get in touch with Fidelity because we didn't know of any other
that's
companies.
Fine.
And they said that is correct. Everything Dave said was on point. But they said it's up to $6,000 we could put into there. But we said, okay, that sounds good. But I don't know if that would make it to the 15%.
Oh, it definitely would.
For sure.
12,000 total is what you guys need to be putting in, 12.3. And so if you get the 8% match and then go fully fund a Roth IRA for him, whatever's left over out of that 15%, if there is any, that's when we go, all right, we're going to start filling up the Roth IRA for you up to 15% because we want to leave margin for baby step 5 and 6, filling up that college fund, paying off the house early. Then when you're at 7, you can go wild, invest 25%, 30%, give crazy generously, do all those kinds of things.
Exactly. So I'm so sorry to keep asking you the same thing over and over.
No,
so
it's
I
all
just want to make sure. So being that my husband is fully matched at 8% with the company he has with a traditional 401k.
Yes.
And now if we do the Roth IRA
correct
outside of that, then that would take us to, the 15%.
That would definitely take you to 15%, especially between the two of you. It'd be even more than that. So that's the way to do it, Margaret. Appreciate the call. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, way to go, Margaret. That's a big deal. You guys are on your way to being Baby Steps millionaires. Thank you so much for the call. George Campbell, thanks for hanging out.
Fun times, Ken.
Always good to be with you, my friend. Big thanks to our team in the control room there behind the glass. Thank you all so very much. And I want to thank you, America. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600 plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.